So yeah, I had a thought earlier, and when I was thinking about, there's a little bit more kind of motivational speaker Adam coming through. Um, but I was just thinking about something that people do, a tendency that people do, and you know, I have some friends who I'm pushing in this process that I'm in, and in the process that I'm in, I'm also encouraging them, and they're encouraging me to keep going forward and to be better versions of themselves. And yeah, someone that my friend has said to me pretty consistently has been like, I've talked about moving forward and making changes. One of the things that he's pointing out is like, yo, man, you've been blessed. You get to go home and live with your parents, and not everybody has that. And so it's harder for me, or like I can't do that right now because I don't have this. And I think that is something, and that's not fully what he was saying, but I think there's an implication of that in what a lot of people say when they look at other people who have something more than they do, and when they look at themselves as having not enough, and needing more. And for me, it's like, yo, for folks who are constantly looking for holes in other people's success stories and success journeys, maybe that isn't the story that you need to be listening to. But pick one, pick one. If you need to hear the story of the person who has far less than you, who has made far more than you, then take that story. Maybe a little motivation is coming out right now. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. I was looking. I looked away from the camera to look at my face as I said that. Anyway, just pick one, man. Pick a story that'll help you tell and help you live towards the way you want to live, and help you move towards the life that you want to live. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. And it's something that I noticed that I've even done. I have a lot of people that I look at and respect and look up to in the world, and I'll have moments myself where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not where they are. I haven't done enough. I haven't accomplished all these things. I have to wait to before I can bring the story that I want my reality to be into life. And it's like, no. And I went through this process. When I was in high school, I had this whole idea that I was going to go to the NBA. And I had this idea. Every time I would imagine what my life would be like, it was never playing the game. It was always having an interview, talking about these types of ideas. It was always about me talking to kids and encouraging kids, and it was always me being a guest speaker at places and encouraging people to go for their become their fuller selves, and to encourage that and hopefully inspire that in people and motivate that at times when needed. That was like what I imagined. Never imagined really playing the game. And anytime I was training, and that was always what I was seeing, was having a platform to be able to speak those ideas and to be able to live those things out. Same thing. I wanted to be this entrepreneur. I had this idea, oh yeah, I'll have this big old business, and I'll start this thing that'll make an impact, and blah blah blah. But it was never about the thing, and it was always about what I'm doing right now, which is speaking these ideas and sharing them and being in an interview, having a conversation with people about these ideas and about becoming your better self and about the things that I talk about now. And then it was like, oh, I want to be this grand artist, and people will come and see me, and I'll be able to share these inspirations with people, and then share being authentic and talk about, again, the things that I am talking about now. And what I've realized is I didn't need those things that I thought I needed to do what I wanted to do. I didn't need to be an artist, a big time, a famous superstar artist. I didn't need to be a superstar basketball player. I didn't need to be this big shot Tony Branson entrepreneur. I needed to be myself. And I needed to use what I had to to offer. I needed to offer the gifts that were in me, that I have in abundance, that I have just spilling out of me. Those are the things I needed to pour towards the life that I wanted. And the thing that I wanted to do in it and be in it. And so I think people get stuck because, again, something that I said in the video it was what my dad told me about one of the many things, out of the many good things about my grandma, that was one thing he pointed out. She would always say, I wish I had this desk. And if I had this desk, I'd be able to do all these things. And honestly, I've said the same thing. I've done it in terms of time. I've said, oh man, if I had this time and the space, and then I'd get the opportunities, I'd get the time, I'd get the space, and I wasn't using it. Use what you have. Use what you have. Don't complain. And I'm saying this to myself, by the way, as well as to you. Don't think I'm like preaching from this podium of being so beyond this. I have to remind myself this every freaking day. To use what you have. Use what you got. And if you feel like you need something more to get you going, and you feel like you need to receive certain stories to kind of have some food for thought to nourish your process, and find one that's gonna put your feet on the ground and get you going. It doesn't even really matter. Like it does to some extent, but it doesn't really matter what it is. What matters is that it is a story that you find positivity in, and that you're inspired in, and that encourages you to be the fuller version of yourself, not of that person, not of that person. You're not the fuller version of them, because you'll never be the fuller version of them, because you're not them, right? But you can use other people's lives, and you can use the success stories of others as to plant a seed in yourself that you water and that you grow, and that becomes the garden of the things that you give to the world. And those things will bear fruit, but you have to take time to attend to your own ground, man. You got to attend to your own garden. Yeah, I think when you spend time getting stuck in the weeds of what other people are doing, and stuck in the weeds of what you lack, you stop planting seeds that can help you grow. So connect with the stories that get you living the life that you want to live, and that get you taking the steps. And if you're looking at other stories right now and success, and saying, oh, I don't have this, or oh, I don't have that, they had a better this than me, or they had a better that than me, pick another story. Instead of picking apart their story, pick another story to help you. Because at the end of the day, it's about what you do. And you can sit there and make the same complaints, and a year will go by, and 10 years will go by, and you'll still be in the same place. Unless you run your race. So that's just my encouragement to don't focus so much on what you don't have. Gratitude. Appreciating what you have. And it'll attract people to you. People don't want to be around people who are poisonous, man. People who are... No one wants to be around that. And people can smell it. When you're poisonous, you can smell it. When I've been poisonous, people can smell it. Yeah, no one wants to be around that. No one wants to be around that. And at the same time, sometimes misery loves company, and people don't want to be around others who are actually progressing. So there's that side of it too. And when you stop picking apart other people's stories and you start picking your own path, sometimes that's what can happen. Is you make yourself vulnerable for other people to pick on you and to pick what you're doing apart. But that's because you've decided to take part in your own process and not be a part of something else that is pulling that process apart. So yeah, I guess my whole point is choose your character, man. Pick your story, select your story, and walk on the storyline of where it leads. Otherwise, you'll be on the sidelines watching.